It's the Orioles on Masson. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg as the Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays get together tonight. It's game one in this three-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Thanks so much for joining us, and welcome to the Trop, where the Orioles continue this three-city road trip, third and final stop after winning the finale in Texas on Sunday. And the game on Sunday against the Rangers, it was one of those total team wins. Mark Trumbo had 5 RBIs. Austin Wynns contributed a 3-run home run. But the difference in the game was the Orioles' bullpen. They completely shut down the Rangers' batters after Jeffrey Ramirez was knocked out of the game. And look at the total contributions here. Tanner Scott got the win, 2 1/3 scoreless. Donnie Hart took over, an inning and 2/3 scoreless. Miguel Castro, an inning and a third, no runs. Paul Fry gave up 1 run. The 2 walks hurt him in 2/3 of an inning. And then Michael Givens came on. He earned the save, 1 1/3 scoreless. So 7 1/3 innings combined, just 1 run on 1 base hit, 12 strikeouts to 4 walks. The bullpen, the young bullpen, outstanding in the finale at Texas. And Jim Palmer, when you look at that game, Michael Givens, it was the first save opportunity since the trades of Brad Brock and Zach Britton. Michael Givens got the baseball. He didn't disappoint. Faced 4 batters, got them all out.
Yeah, well, he did. And I think, and I kind of choose, because he did a great job, but I choose to look at some of the other situations because, you know, the first 2 games, they gave up 28 runs. So a lot of these guys struggled. You know, and then the third game down there was a 3-1 ball game. Actually, I think would end up 3-2 or whatever. But so you had 2 games out of control. Guys struggled. Now all of a sudden they come back on Sunday. You know, Hart pitched very well. He had given up the grand slam to Odor, who had a great series for the Rangers. So a lot of guys that struggled. And if you're a young player, you know, you're going to have your bad days, but you get back on the mound and do a nice job. So they all kind of redid it. And then Michael Givens, I've been telling him, I said, go into that office. You tell him you want to close. And he had, you know, back-to-back games. Pitched well on Saturday night, and then the save with a 9-6 victory. So again, a lot of positive things. And you know, again, the offense was terrific. They had 4 home runs on Sunday too, as you mentioned.
Now, Buck Showalter has not named Michael Givens as the team's new closer, but he has the most experience, especially in the group that pitched on Sunday. So as you look at this, what are the attributes that you need to be an effective closer?
Well, you need a lot of things. I mean, obviously, you know, you got to be able to throw strikes. So, you know, that's number one. And how do you do that? You be able to control your delivery because, you know, for a lot of times, I think it's actually harder to be a hole-up guy. You know, you have to have composure because you're going to, number one, you know, your team could have the lead for, 8 innings, and you have to be able to know what you need to do. You can't overreact. You can't have more grip pressure. You know, and I guess the other thing is, you know, you have to accept occasional failure. We were talking about it before the game. You have to have a short memory. Sometimes, you know, you forget about what happened. So, you know, and again, coming into this year with 18 wins and 3 losses, he pitched in a lot more difficult situations than closing. Most of the time you close, not always. You know, had a 3-run lead on Sunday. You know, you have a clean inning. You don't come in with runners at first and second or the bases loaded. So, again, I think it's a matter, he's the obvious choice. Of course, Buck Showalter wants to be in control, so he's not going to name the closer. But if Michael pitches like he did Saturday or Sunday, he'll be your closer for the rest of the year.
Well, the beat reporters, again, tried to ask Buck Showalter about Michael Givens. Is he your closer? Here's what the skipper said before the game.
Yes, could see it again, and it could. No, I understand what everybody's saying. Our big thing is trying to create a safe situation, okay? And, you know, Mike, I thought was really together mechanically the night before. First time with some time off. He worked on a few things with he and Roger and Alan, and, you know, he came out and got a big out with very few pitches in the 8th inning, and he just continued. You know, talking to him on the plane, but I don't think it really fazed him one way or the other. Everybody's wired a little differently, but you know, Mike's got the type of stuff that could do it. You know, it's just trying to get that consistency that you need there. I'm sure somewhere along the way he'll get another opportunity that he can show that he could do it again.
So the skipper was asked, is Michael Givens your closer, or will the matchups dictate it? And he said yes, which means he didn't answer the question,
well,
as he still has not named Michael Givens as the closer.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Brock's pitching for the Braves. Britton's in New York. O'Day's on the disabled list, got traded. he's your best choice. So I think he's going to get opportunities. And yeah, you look at the numbers. He had a horrible June, and 0-5. Lefties are hitting him better, but he can lefties out. This first year he struggled against left-handers. Next 2 years he was outstanding. So this is a guy in transition. This team is in transition. So if I want to go into 2019 knowing a guy can close, how do you find out if you don't put him in that situation? And like I told him, and I think Buck certainly knows this, a lot of times it's an easier job to do if you give him the ball with a 1 or 3 run lead, because you're usually coming in a clean inning. So, and Buck makes a good point. You need to, and hopefully that'll happen in this series where, you have the lead going in the 9th, and we'll see who pitches. And I would imagine it's going to be Givens.
Well, this has been overall a tough season for Michael Givens, and if you do learn from adversity, he has certainly pitched through that.
Well, the other thing, what I saw was Tom Cheedy told me he's a little bit stubborn. Alan Mills, of course, great guy, certainly a great reliever, not a closer, but a great reliever. He says, well, things have been going so well, he doesn't want to make changes. I think for the first time he does. I think he realized he'd need to make some adjustments. Buck Showalter talked about it, so he's going to get the opportunity. I think he understands, hey, my lines have to be pretty good because what was number 1? Got to be able to throw strikes. So again, his stuff is overwhelming. He's got 3 pitches. Fastball, changeup could really work. Slider can be inconsistent. Hopefully he'll have a better chance of getting a chance in big situations where the pressure is on, and he'll learn from that, and we'll learn about whether he's able to do it.
So the final stop on this 3-city road trip, we get underway here tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. We're coming back to the Trop. Lineups and first pitch are next. Southwest, low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. It was another lovely day in St. Petersburg, although during batting practice, a severe thunderstorm went through St. Pete. Our game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. Well, it is 83 degrees, but that's outside, 76% humidity. We are in climate control conditions inside the dome. It is a very lovely 72 degrees. And now we'll get a look at the Orioles Southwest starting lineup presented by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And how about the Orioles debut of Jonathan VR in the series in Texas? 4 games, he goes 8 for 17 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 4 runs scored in that leadoff spot. Beckham, Jones, and Trumbo with Davis back in the lineup at first base. Mancini, Nunez, Peterson, and Caleb Joseph.
And Tyler Glasnow, you can see right there, 4-seam fastball, because its average fastball is around 97, 98 degrees or miles per hour. right there. A lot of humidity on that curveball, and then the slider, of course, it actually the humidity's not as much on that. So anyway, this guy's got a power arm. They got him in the Chris Archer trade. He had a chance to pitch last year as a starter. This year, primarily out of the bullpen, and you know, here he's one of those bullpen days in a sense, maybe, where he'll only probably go three innings or so, unless he's even better. So there's the heater, 98. We'll see what kind of strike zone Paul Noward has behind the plate. But he's big. He's about 6'8".
6'8".
His pitching coach, Kyle Snyder, is 6'7", so they think that they can certainly communicate.
Well, the fastball right at VR won him on the count. A tremendous start to his Orioles career. VR is thrilled to be here because he's playing every day. He was not getting regular reps in Milwaukee, and even though they're in a playoff race, this is the new phase in his career. And we learned in 4 games, Jim, that he looks like he knows how to work the count. He uses the whole field. It helps that he's a switch hitter, and he seems to know who he is as a hitter.
And he's a switch hitter. You know, very. You know, the ability to steal a base, even though he wasn't playing regular. He's got 15 steals. There's your low strike at 98. And the other thing is, when you're a veteran player, you're usually, if you don't get your pitch, and that wasn't it, you'll take it and now scuffle with 2 strikes. And we've seen him hit the ball all over the ballpark. And limited at bats, of course.
Slaps it foul the other way. Well, the Rays defensively, they use analytics probably more than any other team. And we saw this in the recent series at Camden Yards. The center fielder rarely is in center field. Now you see Kevin Kiermaier out there. He is well over to the left center gap, even though VR is batting from the left side.
Well, again, your analytics or your spray chart kind of tell you who's on the mound with high velocity. And there it is, and he just throws it right by him at 99. So if you're Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, this is what you're looking for. Is he going to be able to throw the fastball over? You get your answer right here. 99 is probably a little bit off the corner, but the fastball just explodes. You know, all the analytics say guys are throwing more breaking balls. So all you got to do, look at what Lance Lynn did to the White Sox last night with the Yankees, and you know, they'd lost 5 in a row, and a fastball cuttered them to death. They pitch real well. If you have 99 with movement, probably your best pitch.
And Beckham back in his old stomping grounds. He'll take ball 1. Beckham's having a pretty good road trip, 7 out of 24, so that's a 292 clip, which is successful when you consider his season average, as you just saw, at 231.
Yeah, take a look at their defense, and this is the only pitching part in the American League East. Brandon Lau, Kiermaier, Platinum Gold Glover, Smith and Wright, Duffy, Adames, Wendell Bowers, and then Perez doing the catching.
And Brandon Lau in left field just got called up on Sunday. He's from the University of Maryland. I'm sure a lot of his friends back there in College Park are tuning in tonight. Very youthful looking. Daniel Robertson went on the DL. He has to have thumb surgery on a ligament, and it looks like he'll be out for the year. So another rookie coming up. And one bounces in there, and a good take by Beckham. Tyler Glasnow, as Jim mentioned, he is 6 feet 8 inches, and he is the 5th pitcher in club history at least 6'8". They've had 2 pitchers at 6'9". Jeff Neiman and Mark Hendrickson, who right now is the pitching coach for the Orioles at the New York Penn League Aberdeen Ironbirds. So he is the 5th pitcher 6'8" or taller. 2-2 on Beckham. He was a 5th round pick of the Pirates back in 2011. And he was acquired trade deadline day. He and Austin Meadows, one of the Pirates' top prospects, in exchange for Chris Archer.
Yeah, Archer not really pitching that well here. He was hurt early with an oblique problem, so certainly under control for another couple of years at a very good price. But there you go, 99. So at the end of the day, throws some breaking balls, does all that stuff, and then just blows them away, 99. And yeah, I don't think this really matters with this velocity and movement, whether it's on the corner or not. just go up the ladder a little bit. Gloves right in the middle of the plate. And that's exactly where it ends up at 99 miles per hour.
Well, he's averaging about 10 strikeouts for every 9 innings he works, so he certainly has the strikeout ability. Here's Adam Jones. 2 outs and nobody on. And a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, you would think that, again, last year, as we mentioned, he was a starter. He got, what, 13 starts, ERA, huge, over 7.5 runs a game. So they used him out of the bullpen.
Ground ball to third. There's Matt Duffy. And slings it across to get Adam Jones. So a good start for Tyler Glass now as he retires the Orioles. 3 up, 3 down in the first. Tennessee fan. He likes the Volunteers. Orioles have quite a few from the Volunteer state. Here's the lineup for Tampa Bay. Malik Smith in that leadoff spot. 10 for 16 in his last 6 games, so he gets moved up to the top. Duffy, Bowers, and Crone, Wendell, Kiermaier, and Lau, with Perez and Adames rounding it out.
And Alex Cobb trying to do, as you look at the 4-seam fastball splitter, that's really important because it gives him a third pitch. Actually, it's moved up from the knuckle hook. A knuckle curveball, and he's trying to do what he hadn't been able to do all year long, win back-to-back games. Pitched very well in New York. Weathered a rain delay. They got him a lot of runs early, only gave up a home run to Gleyber Torres. Fly ball to right field. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 6. Fastball's been a lot better. Splitter's been a lot better, and he hasn't used the curveball as much.
1-0 on Smith. And there's a base hit. And Sanio played on a hop.
Yeah, I think Jimmy thought about coming in, and then, you come in and that ball short hops you, it might be an inside the Parker. That's what the turf does. So your Mercedes pitch cast, and this is what Smith's been doing. Look where the glove is, look where the ball is. I mean, it's right to the glove. He made his pitch, but the approach a little bit better than the pitch selection. The red hot. That's what, now 6 for his last 9.
Here's Matt Duffy, who, fortunately for Tampa Bay, was able to stay in the lineup. He took a ball off his finger in batting practice. That one bounces and gets away from Caleb Joseph. So to second base goes Malik Smith. A wild pitch. That is the third for Alex Cobb.
Yeah, I mean, he just spiked that, about a 92-mile-per-hour fastball about 59 feet. Problem is, the front of the plate is 60 feet 6 inches away.
So a chance for a first inning run. Runner at second and nobody down. And Duffy goes the opposite way, and Peterson has to play it on a hop. Malik Smith got a late start, so he'll get to third. Peterson playing very deep for a right-handed batter, and that falls in front of him. So back-to-back singles, first and third, and nobody out.
Well, you could see what Duffy was trying to do. Watch this inside-out swing. Great angle. I mean, just stays inside it, gets a pitch up. So it's an easy ball to hit that way, and then you're right about Smith. He has great speed, and sometimes instinctively gets himself into trouble. I think that's a perfect example. Did not want to get doubled up. Already in scoring position, make sure it drops. Duffy, of course, doesn't get the RBI. But what it does, it opens up the hole.
Orioles at double play depth in the infield for Jake Bauers. There's a strike on the corner. Jake Bauers, 22 years old. One of the 20 rookies used by Tampa Bay this year. He is from Newport Beach in California. And originally, he was drafted by San Diego, 7th round pick in 2013, and another of the many players that got traded away by the Padres. He was in that 3-team deal with the Nats, San Diego, and Tampa Bay, where Trey Turner ended up in Washington and Will Myers ended up in San Diego.
Yeah, and then Steven Souza Jr. came over here. And for Souza last year, what, 31 home runs or 32 home runs, and he was part of the kind of fire sale Tampa had coming into the season.
Our StatCast AI powered by AWS, and there's the sacrifice fly probability. Anything at or behind that green line, that's good, and there's a base hit, it won't matter. 3 straight singles, Tampa Bay gets a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, try to take advantage of your left-handed hit of that hole. If you get a pitch to hit, nobody's playing there.
So Bauer snaps out of an 0 for 10 with an RBI single.
See, I mean, that's a splitter, but it doesn't split, and it's instead of on the corner, it's right where he needs, you know, to get a pitch to pull, and he doesn't miss it. The only good news is he doesn't get all the way to third. That was the intent here.
So still nobody out. First and second for C.J. Cron. A little bit low. Cron comes in 3 for his last 18. Tampa Bay's had a strange season. They're back at 500, 56 and 56. It's the 11th time this year their record has been at exactly 500. And on this homestand so far, they swept the Angels, and then the White Sox came in and swept the Rays this weekend.
Yeah, 3 1-run losses for the Rays. 2 low-scoring games, and the last one 8-7.
Popped them up. Foul ground, playable for Davis. Ozzie Timmons gets out of the way, and there's a big out for Alex Cobb, 1 away, and the runners can't advance.
So take a look at the Orioles defense here at the Trop. Mancini, Jones, and Peterson, Nunez, Beckham, Villar, and Davis, and then Caleb Joseph getting a chance to catch.
Here's Joey Wendell, who has settled in as a regular. At times he plays in the outfield, but mainly a second baseman. And he is the Rays' kind of a player. He slaps the ball everywhere. The double play ball can get Cobb out of this. A good breaking ball down and in.
Yeah, the other thing he does, he's pretty quick. Hard to double up. Actually, I'll take that back because he leads the team with 10 ground ball double plays.
Only play is at first. Cobb alertly takes the out. The other runners advance, but 2 men down. So Cobb an out away from getting out of it. Don't forget the Orioles host the Red Sox this weekend, and on Friday you can enjoy Friday fireworks and music at America's Ballpark, presented by the Hartford and featuring singer-songwriter Carter Faith Jones. After the game, Carter will perform a collection of songs from the field, followed by a spectacular fireworks display for all the fans to enjoy. So come on out and join us. For tickets, Orioles.com. It is a 6-game homestand, 4 games against the Red Sox, including a day-night doubleheader on Saturday. And then the New York Mets come in for a couple of games. And Major League Baseball. So here is Kevin Kiermaier, who's been scuffling. And he'll look over at low, 1-0. Kiermaier just 3 for his last 23.
Well, you would think that Alex Cobb would know this team, even though there are a lot of young players as well as anybody, because he played for them up until this season. Boy, yeah, what a big out if he can get it here. I mean, the difference between 3-0 and most likely, unless the ball's hit on one hop to the outfielder, or 1-0.
Kiermaier showing bunt, pulled the bat back, and he took a strike.
Well, if you watch where Nunez, because he does that, has to play on the turf with speed. I mean, he has to come all the way in because of that attempted bunt or fake bunt.
Alex Cobb, of course, was Tampa Bay's 4th-round pick out of high school, Vero Beach High School in Vero Beach, Florida, back in 2006. This is his 59th career start on this mound at Tropicana Field. Perfect pitch on the outside corner. Kiermaier doesn't agree.
So you have Alex with a .352 batting average in these situations, and Kiermaier at .162. Roger McDowell, Oriole pitching coach, on the right, and then Dylan Bundy. The pitch went on Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Andrew Kashner's turn, and then David Hess will get the start in the finale on Thursday night. 2-2, second and third, a run in. Cobb trying to work out of a jam here. First 3 batters all reached with singles.
Yeah, in one of those counts, I mean, you got first base open. You can make your pitch here. You want to throw something that's a strike to a ball. Don't want to end up in the middle of the plate. And there it is. Tried to get it by him. That was really, he had a good splitter in New York, but the ability to pitch inside to the lefties at Yankee Stadium really made a big difference.
Pretty interesting coming into this start, looking at his splits. Left-handed batters had 70 base hits against Cobb. Right-handed batters had 70 base hits. Right-handers had 11 more at-bats. Upstairs, ball 3, wouldn't chase. And now Cobb wants a new baseball.
Yeah, I think if you're Alex Cobb and you're a veteran, I mean, you want to face Kiermaier other than on your terms, or Brandon Lau that's waiting on deck. Lau had some great minor league numbers, but he's in his second major league game. Now he may feel he knows Kiermaier a little bit better, so make your pitch. Hope he chases.
Fouls off the 7th pitch of this at bat.
And that was a splitter that stayed up in the zone.
Kiermaier now 28, so he's one of the veterans on this team. His 6th season. And the 3-2 is swung on and missed, held onto by Caleb Joseph. So Cobb gets out of it with just the 1 run. Tampa Bay strands 2 in scoring position. We'll head to the second at the Trop, 1-0 Rays. achieving more. He brings an 8-game hitting streak into tonight's game.
And he'd like to keep achieving. As you mentioned in the Open, a couple of home runs on Sunday. What, that Thursday night game had 3 RBIs. Could have had 5, except for the Gallo. So, swinging well. Better get ready for some heat here. Of course, he said velo doesn't really bother him. It's, you know, deception.
That ball deceived its way all the way back to the backstop.
Yeah, well, at 95, that's the least amount of velocity we've seen on his fastball. He was 97, 98, 99. Yeah, the zoom ball.
Ooh.
There's 96 inside corner. Firm. Yeah, saw him in the lobby at the hotel that the Orioles stay in. He's a big kid, 6'8". We saw him in spring training a couple of years ago pitching for the Pirates.
The foul back this way.
Yeah, he got away with that hanger, and of course, no better high ball hitter than Mark Trumbo on this team. Got a hanger and tried to hit another home run swing. It's your pitch to hit right there. See if he gets another one.
Well, Trumbo has back-to-back multi-hit games, and as we showed you, 11 RBIs during this 8-game hitting streak. 1-2. Strike 3 call.
Well, that's the Nolan Ryan, Paul Blair home run where your rear end, I mean, you know, your heart's trying to stay in, but your rear end ends up in the dugout. Watch him give on this. And yep. Just really good curveball.
Nicely framed by Michael Perez.
So, of course, he started out by throwing one up and in all the way to the backstop. So that certainly will get your attention.
Third strikeout already. Here's Chris Davis. He sat out Saturday. He sat out Sunday. Day off yesterday, so he's back at it. He's got a 3-game hitting streak working.
And apparently a little banged up.
Modified shift by Tampa Bay. You see the percentages where he hits the ball on the ground. Adames, the shortstop, is on the second base side, but shading well up the middle. Gets a piece, but fouls it off. The only hitter in the Orioles lineup tonight that had seen Tyler Glasnow prior to tonight was Jonathan Villar. Of course, Villar was with Milwaukee. Glasnow with the Pirates. They're both NL Central teams, and Villar only had 4 at-bats against them. He was on the Pirates all year as a reliever. And he strikes out Davis. Back-to-back Ks and 2 down. And 2 quick outs on strikeouts. Our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Francis Bernstein of Lewisdale, has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game tonight. You can play Home Run Riches scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun.
Yeah, when you look at Glasnow's minor league numbers, I just imagine 5th round kid, and I'm sure he was raw and he probably didn't have a very good windup. But boy, if you're a minor league pitching coordinator and you see this arm, you're going, wow, because he's got a wow arm. And the numbers show it. I mean, anytime you go 45 and 21 in the minors with a 2.02 ERA, you have earned your way to the big leagues. It just didn't work out that well last year pitching for Pittsburgh for whatever the reason.
High strike.
So if you're Kevin Cash and you're managing this team and you're a former catcher, boy, when you see this, you probably run into a couple of kids like this. Kyle Snyder, what an arm to work with.
Lays off the breaking ball. They appeal. He didn't swing. Laz Diaz said he checked. Well, you notice that he's working from the stretch even with no one on base, and that's because with the Pirates, 34 appearances all in relief, so he's comfortable.
Yeah, and he also made that transition because of the wildness.
His season high in innings pitched was 3 2/3 innings. And that was all the way back on April 19th when the Pirates played the Phillies.
Yeah, to give you an idea, and again, we told you about the 45-21 record, 2.02 ERA, but 278 walks in 598 innings. So that's a walk almost one every 2 innings. Now, well over a strikeout for him. And you can see why right there.
Blows it by Mancini at 98, so 6 up, 6 down. 5 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow through 2 innings. Induction ceremony prior to the second game of the separate admission doubleheader against Boston. Former second baseman Brian Roberts and radio broadcaster Fred Manfred will be inducted into the Orioles Hall of Fame. The ceremony begins at 6:30 on Saturday night. So come on out and join us. For your tickets, online, Orioles.com. A floppy hat has made an appearance. I knew it. Now all we need is a Hawaiian shirt and we got it going.
Well, to answer your question, which is more popular?
Tonight so far, the hat.
Well, yeah, we'll probably see. Well, we got one floppy hat. I'm not seeing the appearing over the stands. I'm not seeing a Hawaiian shirt as of yet.
If they're out there, Tim's going to find them. He always finds those Hawaiian shirts. There it is. Look at that. There's a whole group.
See, yeah, so it answers our question. 3-1.
3-1.
Well, that guy, what, third to the left, really feels let out.
Yeah. Where's his shirt?
Yeah. And good splitter. Yeah, the splitter for Alex Cobb, it's an off-speed pitch. Fastball's at 91 to maybe 93. Moves. Look at the late movement. Got a young hitter. You can always mess with those guys unless you hang something. Again, this kid, AA, AAA, was really having a good year, Brandon Lau. Almost 300, 31 doubles, 22 home runs, 76 RBIs in 100 games. And I was watching him hit, and I'm going, he's not a real big kid. Must have some bat speed, though.
Out of the University of Maryland.
And look where his hands are. Very short swing. A little bit like Joey Wendell, but with more power, at least at the minor league level. Well, what an opportunity. You know, the Rays, I would imagine, at some point the Orioles are going to do what the Rays have done.
And a swing and a miss.
Yeah, and the minors, probably might get a slider or a fastball, but not the splitter, and the ball drops out just enough. This is what Kiermaier missed with runners in second and third with a chance to make it 3-0 in the first. Swung right over it. So a good swing, just not anywhere close to the ball because of the movement of that split-fingered fastball.
Scotty Coolball talking with the skipper. Here's Michael Perez, the catcher. Made his big league debut against the Orioles in the last series in Baltimore, that 4-game series. He was acquired from Arizona, and today he's celebrating his 26th birthday. Cobb gets ahead. "20 different rookies have been used by Tampa Bay this year. That has extended their club record. Lau became the 20th on Sunday. That is the most of any team rookies used this year in Major League Baseball, and it's now 2 more than any other season. The Rays' former record was 18 rookies in one season." There's a chopper to Davis, who played himself, and 2 quick outs for Alex Cobb. Time now for our Maryland Live Casino Inside the Numbers, and here's the splitter. And Jim, that's really his most important pitch.
Well, it is. I mean, early on, he signed March 21st, so late sign, did not have really anything. But you could see right here, you know, since July, he used it more because it's working. He doesn't have to use his curveball. Batting average much better on the splitter than the curveball. So only won 3 games, and as we mentioned, trying to win back-to-back games for the first time.
Line to center field. Adam Jones will have to play it on a hop, so Adames is on with a 2-out single, jumping on that first pitch.
Yeah, young hitters, do you get a good pitch to hit or not? And that was one, and he doesn't miss it. This is right there. You can see belt high, maybe a little bit above. Target down, fastball runs right in the back of the middle. And, well, if you're ever going to find out about a young hitter, and Alex didn't face him last year because he's young, as you just did. So it's an information pitch. So next time, you know, that you don't want to live in that area. And he doesn't run a lot. Not pretty quick to the plate. Very good move.
Alex Smith chases, nothing in 1.
You know, the same thing with Alex Smith. You can look at the numbers we talked about. I mean, he's been red hot. 6 for his last 9, now 11 for his last 17. So he's smoking. What did he hit to left field? Fastball. What looks like a fastball, but is it? The splitter. Now you need it out.
Thomas just does get back in. There's the good move Jim talked about. Well, Cobb in his last 4 starts has pitched to an ERA combined of 2.70. So he certainly is finding his form. Still more base runners per game than he would like, but it'd be nice if the Orioles could get him some runs. Weak ground ball right back to Cobb. He's got it. And the toss to Davis to complete the out. So a 2-out single for Adames and 1 left. We head to the 3rd here at the Trop. Rays have a 1-0 lead.
Put today in the win column.
The Orioles will host the Red Sox this weekend at Oriole Park, and on Sunday, all fans 14 and under receive an Orioles retro talking alarm clock presented by United Concordia Dental and featuring a Joe Angel wake-up call, as you just heard, For your tickets, just go online, Orioles.com. Jim Palmer cannot wait to get his Joe Angel talking alarm clock.
I already have my disguise, my under 14 disguise.
We might be able to get you one.
I already have one.
The alarm clock?
No.
Oh, the disguise.
It was a 5-10 statement right over your head.
So here's the hot Renato Nunez.
Yeah. Well, he's getting pitches to hit. And, you know, that's New York over Shane Robinson's head, and you know, away. Doesn't really matter. You could see. I mean, in the approach. I mean, right there. I mean, how about that? Hitting that breaking ball with one hand.
Upstairs with a fastball at 98.
That is really not that far inside, but when you know a lot of young hitters, they wear their protection. We talked about it down in Texas. You're diving, ball inside. I mean, if it's in 4 inches, just take a look at where his hands go. You know, hands will drop. Good breaking ball. This kid's got plus stuff. Now, whether you can pitch a whole game with only 2 pitches, we haven't seen one. I don't know. Time will tell.
He's got a future closer's arm.
Well, he might, you know, he started through the minor leagues, but that's the minor league.
Chopper. Thomas waits on the hop and guns it to get Renato Nunez for the first out.
But Jim, when you couple that kind of curveball with 95 to 99 miles per hour, I mean, that's a curveball, 12 to 6, and you're 6-7. Just imagine a clock, Joe Angel's wake-up clock. 12 o'clock to 6. That's what a good curveball does. Go straight down.
Chase Peterson, another start in right field. He's having a pretty good road trip, 5 out of 18 with a couple of RBIs.
Yeah, kind of wondering. You talked about the Rays using 20 rookies. You would think at some point, even though Peterson, you know, he do a lot of things to help you win speed-wise. Got to look to the future. So whether Frederick Mullins, he can play the outfield.
Oh, yes, he can.
And we saw it in spring training. There are the Rays starters. So that's against the Orioles now. The Orioles, what, 11, 15, 11 runs? Those were the starters, but they just lost the first game, 3-2, and then, boy, really start rolling offensively.
You may have seen the note on the bottom of that graphic. The Tampa Bay starters have combined, coming into this game, pitching 466 innings. That is the fewest in all of Major League Baseball, in large part because of their opener theory of going to that, where a reliever opens the game and goes sometimes 2 innings, sometimes an inning and a third. To give you a perspective, the Astros starters have pitched the most innings, 702. Tampa Bay at 466. So 236 more innings thrown by the Astros starters. But if you look at their ERA, Jim, the starters or openers or the combination of the two, 3.79 ERA. That is 4th best in the American League.
It's not a real number, though. In their bullpen, I mean, it's just a little bit higher. I mean, it's not a real number because they're not really starting. But, hey, does it really matter whether you match up in the first, you know, inning 1 or 2?
That's their theory.
Well, it was really their bullpen day, and that was because originally they thought they were going to have 4 starters, and then they would have to get creative on day 5.
Swing and a miss, and it gets away from Perez. He'll make the play at first, and 2 down, so 8 in a row retired by Glasnow to begin the game, and 6 by strikeout.
Well, Perez, I mean, this is why they got him. Watch him block this ball. I mean, right in the middle. So he's a defensive guy, supposedly the best defender. And, of course, he knocks it down. Otherwise, that's a wild pitch. Strikeout on a wild pitch.
The 2-downers, Caleb Joseph. Late on the swing, 0-1. Caleb's bat's cooled off a little bit. He comes into tonight's game 0 for his last 8, and he's just 2 for 14 on the road trip, but he does have a home run and 2 RBIs on the trip. 98 on the corner.
So if you're Caleb, just imagine you got fastball that's taken off and the curveball dropping off the table. And there it was. And perfectly thrown two-strike curveball. Started on the plate.
That was a really good take. Line drive, and there's a base hit. So Caleb Joseph is on with the Orioles' first base hit. The 9th batter gets on.
Oh, nice approach. You know, what you try to do is protect away, and that's where this fastball was. You can see the target up. He doesn't get it there. You know, it's about outside third of the plate. Went into a crouch, stayed in the crouch, so spine angle's good, and then just hits it right over the second baseman's head.
And because of Kiermaier playing there, I can't get by and go to the wall. So that'll turn the lineup over, and first base runner for the O's. Here's VR, who struck out leading off the game. First time through the lineup, 6 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow. He is from Santa Clarita in California. There goes Caleb. He had a big jump and no throw. How about that? So a stolen base for Caleb Joseph, his 2nd of the year.
Well, you don't pay attention, and again, just went on the, really not even on the first move. He wasn't even thinking about it.
And now base hit could get this game even.
Yeah, for Glasnow, I mean, the most pitches he threw, you got to go all the way back to 3 2/3 innings for the Pirates against the Phillies. That was back in
April 19th.
Yeah. Against the Mets, before his start against the Angels, 57. So they'll look at the pitch count.
Well, in 34 relief appearances, he pitched 3 innings or more only 5 times. Exactly 3 innings 4 times in the game you're talking about against the Phillies, 3 2/3. So he was a guy brought in, I guess, to finish an inning or start an inning. Clint Hurdle playing matchups with his powerful arm. And he gets VR and gets him out of it. So VR goes down on strikes. He's over 2 with a couple of punch outs. And the Orioles strand Joseph at second base. Mid-third at the Trop, 1-0 Tampa Bay. The day, and by the University of Maryland Medical Center, be a part of something. Yeah, it was a good day to play that beach volleyball. Nice and warm in the 90s, humid, work up a good sweat. Not in here though, climate controlled inside the dome.
Yeah, I ran into a couple that come down for the weekend from Chicago, obviously some Oriole fans, and they said they actually liked the truck.
Well, you know you're going to play.
Yeah, and they heard all kinds of bad things about it. I mean, it is what it is. It is a dome stadium. It is on the St. Petersburg side of about 800,000 people, where if you go across the bay, there's about 2.2 million, where supposedly that's where the new ballpark, if it gets built, will be built.
And if you're on the other side, you're closer to Orlando. There's a heavy population there.
And Duffy having one of those very consistent years.
10th in the league in batting, coming in at .301, and he got a base hit his first at bat.
And you could see the intent after the base hit and the wild pitch. He was just trying to hit it to the right side, and did. And there it goes again. Yeah, when you do that, you're not, you can wait a little more for the breaking ball. You do get a fastball, which is what this was. A little bit easier to inside it out. I mean, that ball right down the middle, pretty much where the glove is. I'm not sure you don't want to put the glove on the corner. Either one corner or the other. Too good a hitter, as you mentioned, 10th in the league.
And here is Jake Bauers, the rookie, who drove in the game's only run with a single in the first. So the leadoff hitter has reached 2 of the 3 innings. Tampa Bay is looking for a win to get back above 500. They're at 56 and 56. They were last below 500 on July the 6th, so a month ago, when they lost to fall to 43 and 44. They've been playing tag with the 500 record all year. Kevin Cash has a team of young players that have been acquired because they fit their theories with the analytics. Even to the point where it decides what lineup is made out for each game.
And the lineup is kind of morphed because they dumped salary. Had a lot of guys, had a lot of home runs last year. A lot of guys that had good years. Their wins above replacement, whether it was Morrison or Corey Dickerson. One for you. Traded up to San Francisco.
And if you talk to some of their folks, they'll tell you that it really wasn't just to dump salary. They were looking for players that better fit their theories. But when you look at Evan Longoria, who's the greatest player their franchise has ever had, are you telling me with the analytics he couldn't help you win? He's a great player.
They were trying to get the salaries down, which they did. I mean, if you look at Dickerson had a 2.7 WAR. That's above replacement.
Here's a double play ball. BR will take it himself and fires high, and safe at first base is Bauers. So the high throw allows Bauers to reach.
Now he runs well, and of course, BR, I mean, right here, see, he had taken that last step, and he's trying to time it. And when he does that, a little bit harder to get top on him. I mean, I don't think because if he takes any more time, he's probably not going to turn him up. So he's doing it on the run. It's not an easy play. Obviously, if the throw's lower, you double him up. But it's not like Jake Bauers doesn't have good speed, because he does.
Well, the Orioles have turned 114 double plays this year as C.J. Cron comes up. That is third most in the major leagues. However, many of those turn with Machado and Scope out there. Caleb Joseph has a play on this one, 2 down. So Cronus had 2 very weak at-bats against Cobb, a couple of foul pop-ups.
Oh, you mentioned he's been struggling, so had a great July. Sometimes those are the guys, you always, at least you should always know who's hot, who's not. Where the power is. Cron, their home run hitter in this lineup. What your matchup is, how they've been doing recently.
Joey Wendell hit a comebacker his first at bat. There goes the runner from first. Caleb's throw, the tag, he is out at second base. Bauers gunned down at second. So Caleb Joseph doing a fabulous job controlling the running game this year. He gets Bauers, and this will end the third. Bauers took off. Joseph to Beckham, they get their man. The all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. The Rays enjoying their 4th inning swim out there in the Rays tank. Deep right center field, very popular with the fans. That is a really nice feature here. And Caleb Joseph, he got his man.
Yeah, he could steal bases. They can't.
That's right. He's got one in this game. Mark Trumbo, how he got it done. Beckham, Jones, and Trumbo for the Orioles in the 4th. Glasnow still out there. That was his 49th pitch. He has only thrown more than 50 pitches in an appearance 3 times this year, including the season high Jim told you about, 73 against the Phillies back in April.
Well, so this is what they were talking about. Nice article yesterday talking about how talented this young man is, and of course Kyle Snyder was a starting pitcher, so he ups at 6'7", so he can relate to him. But when you get a little bit tired, easy to come out of your windup.
That ball is crushed. Tim Beckham gets into one to deep right center field, and that ball is gone. It carries out of here, and we are tied at 1.
Well, that's going to make Tim Beckham. He was traded to the Orioles last by the trade deadline, and he did blast that ball. But count means so much. You're trying to throw a strike. He really hasn't been behind hitters. 2-0 fastball. He's trying to throw it over. Velocity comes down a little bit. Ball in the middle of the plate. Not as much movement. Home run number 5.
His 4th RBI in the trip, and against the team that traded him away, that feels good. So we are even at 1. Just the 2nd hit against Tyler Glasnow. Here's Adam, lines it foul.
Well, take a look. Right here, right down the middle. He's looking for it. He gets it, and he doesn't miss it. And they're going to get somebody up in their bullpen. Even just the sound of the ball off the bat kind of tells the story here.
Yeah, he hit it to the deepest part of left center field, and you always have to hesitate a little bit on a ball hit out there because it's so far it may come down on the wall, and that's what Kiermaier was hoping. He was getting himself in position to play a carom, and it just carried over.
Yeah, normally the way he plays, you almost think he'd be jumping for that ball.
So Beckham's 5th home run. The last one deep on July 24th. Against the Red Sox.
I don't know if Perez got hit or not, because Paul Noward walked the ball all the way out to the mound, so he must have maybe got clipped a little bit on that low curve ball that bounced.
And the 1-2 swing and a miss gets away from Perez, so the play will have to be made the 1st. So strikeout number 8, and 1 down in the 4th inning.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, this is the way Nolan Ryan threw for 9 innings. Anywhere, from 95 to 100. Curved ball off the table. Of course, the other thing he had a changeup that's most any other pitcher in baseball. In fact, when he no-hit the Orioles, his 2-2 changeup to end, the last pitch in it, throwing 100 with a curved ball off the table was the 2-2 changeup to Bobby Britt.
That ball is lined right at the second baseman. Wendell will have him played perfectly. So Trumbo's retired and 2 down.
And I think the questions, of course, Tampa will be asking, because now all of a sudden they're starting to hit it. That ball hit on the nose. You got the home run. Is okay as you look at their pen.
Jamie Schultz getting loose. One of 11 relievers, by the way, out there.
Well, they don't have the starters. It's all kind of intermingled. But is it because he's a little bit tired, or the fact the ball straightens out? They'll make that determination over the next 2 months. Boy, does he have a great arm.
Davis, one of 8 strikeouts for Glasnow. Just blew it by him.
Well, there is no way with Chris Davis's swing that if he throws a ball in the inside quarter, third of the plate, that he's going to be able to hit it. The swing is too long, too uppercut. But look where the target is. It should be up and in. And out over the plate, you got a chance. You got a little more time. 98 slows down maybe 3, 4, 5 miles per hour.
1-2 on Davis. A little bit low. Well, Chris came in with the lowest batting average in all of Major League Baseball. 161. There are only 3 hitters in the major leagues that play regularly with batting averages below 200, and Chris has the lowest at 161. And he got him. So the strikeout will end the inning. Davis down on strikes. 9 strikeouts in 4 innings, but Tim Beckham gets into one, hits it out to deep left center field. Brand new game, tied at 1. And you can choose between 2 special ticket packages with both options including a Game of Thrones bobblehead. Learn more about each special ticket package and to purchase today, just go online Orioles.com/Game of Thrones. And Beckham's home run has tied this game. So Alex Cobb back to work. Cobb had a 9-pitch 3rd inning, helped out by Caleb Joseph. Joey Wendell, who was up when Bowers was caught stealing to end the inning. Wendell grew up in West Grove in Pennsylvania, born in Wilmington, Delaware.
Well, solid play here with Oakland. Got a chance to play a little bit. And talking to Chad Mottola, their hitting instructor, I said, well, it just seems like he's had a pretty even year. At least the average hasn't wavered a lot, even though there's been a couple of up and down months. He said he doesn't like to make outs, and he's willing to work hard to try to keep him there. When you get him to hit the ball in the air, you're such a good ground ball hitter. That's a little bit easier to get out, and the splitter does that.
So Cobb did a good job in that 1st inning, limiting Tampa Bay to 1 run.
Well, you had a guy struggling with runners in scoring position on the mound and a guy struggling at the plate, and the guy on the mound won. Simple as that. You know, Kiermaier with his speed, he gets a base hit. It's 3-0, or at least 2-0. And he made a great pitch, strike him out, split her down and in.
A little bit high to Kiermaier. Cobb was able to get Kiermaier on a strikeout to end the 1st and strand 2 runners in scoring position. Good to see Alex pitching up to his capabilities.
Well, I think he's kind of pitching the way he did when he put this uniform on, you know, the Rays. And That's he was unpredictable when he pitched for the Rays. It was mostly that pitch right there. Before the Tommy John, which he had to, what, 2015, 2016, throw it at any count. So right there, Kiermaier's looking fastball. Thought he got it, but it wasn't that same pitch. I mean, missed with that one. So the consistency, the release point, arm strength, all those things have built up. The only thing is they don't score a lot of runs for him. 16 out of 20 starts, 3 runs or less, hard to win. And that's why his record is what it is.
He gets that call on the inside corner, so the count full 3-2.
Kiermaier going, he's not supposed to throw me a fastball there. 3-1 count, but he did.
Out to first, Davis charges to get the hop and steps on the base. And 2 quick outs. Our UMUC This Date in History is brought to you by University of Maryland University College. Well, 1999, Wade Boggs, a home run in the 6th inning, picked up his 3,000th career hit against the Cleveland Indians. 2001, Greg Maddux set the National League record consecutive innings without allowing a walk. How about that, Jim? 70 in the 3rd consecutive innings. And on this date back in 2007, Barry Bonds hit career home run number 756 to pass Hank Aaron. Busy day.
Oh.
Is that your asterisk?
Yes. And it wasn't the Roger Maris asterisk when he broke Babe Ruth's record playing 162 game versus 154.
What's the longest you went without walking a guy?
A couple innings.
Not 70 in the 3rd?
Well, Greg Maddux, he did win 355 games. It's kind of taking it to an extreme, don't you think? He had unbelievable command. I remember when they came in one of the first years, Terry Crowley was a hitting instructor. And he said, boys, we got to be aggressive. We don't, he had like 1 ball hit out of the infield. We got a ground ball hit, but in the air with BJ, I think 7th inning, BJ Surhoff hit a fly ball to short center. He didn't want to get to 3-2 or 2 strikes because it was going to be anything. It didn't matter what the count was. In, out, add, subtract.
Brandon Loud, the University of Maryland product. 2nd big league game. Still looking for his first big league hit. He was 0 for 4 on Sunday against the White Sox. Daniel Robertson on a double slid headfirst into second base, tore a ligament in his thumb. And he had surgery today, and he is likely lost for the rest of the year. And there's a 2-out walk. First walk allowed by Alex Cobb.
Well, Mike Trout's not on the DL, but he got a cortisone shot in his right thumb, slide. Everybody gets hurt that way, it seems.
Slide with your feet?
Well, it does. I think stealing bases, it does get you there quicker, but it certainly makes your hands and wrists, especially the thumbs and fingers, more vulnerable.
Michael Perez. Swinging a breaking ball. They appeal to 3rd. He went.
So he came over in the Matt Andrees trade as a catch and throw guy, a pretty good bat. And I think the fact that he also knew that they were going to attempt to trade Wilson Ramos. He went to the Phils, even though he's on the DL with a hamstring injury. But welcome to the big leagues right here. You got a guy that is not going to give in. His stuff is back. Command seems to be back. In and out, curveball, splitter in any count. You don't see that in the minor leagues. It's kind of a wake-up call. And you're going to have to adjust as you get to see more major league pitchers. And he did right there, because that's a pretty good splitter.
Cobb's 21st start, coming off a win against the Yankees last Wednesday.
Bottom drops on that one.
Cobb going for back-to-back wins for the first time as an Oriole.
Well, he's gone for him. He just never won them.
Good point.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean.
Well, he has 3 wins and 2 have come in New York City. He beat the Mets in Queens and he beat the Yankees in the Bronx.
He likes that Sinatra song.
And his other win was at Boston, so he still does not have a win as an Oriole at Camden Yards.
Yeah, he came in, what, about 25-19. Now with 0-6 at home this year, he's dropped to 25 or 26-23. Always was better here. And it's certainly understandable. His ERA home in this ballpark was about a run lower than on the road, because this is a pitcher's ballpark.
And you know, Jim, you look at the body of work, even with his struggles this year, and his ERA, he has it lowered to 5.83. His career ERA is still 3.81.
No. He was a special pitcher before the Tommy John, and he was a good pitcher last year. So getting the arm strength back. And I think for the Orioles, he cost him, what, $57 million for 4 years. So they extended a lot of money, but this is a guy that can, if you play on a good team, and the Orioles, this is not a good Oriole team this year. Now that may change. They could be better. They're not good defensively. They're not really good offensively. The bullpen is in transition. So, and he's not a guy that's going to beat you 1-0, 2-1. I mean, that's pretty much the way you have to pitch when you don't get run support.
Lau will be on the move, 3-2 with 2 down. And a foul ball back. So Perez will see at least 8 pitches in this at bat.
And then what happens when you don't get a lot of run support, every pitch counts. So he's thrown, what, 65? Every pitch, because they started the game with 3 consecutive base hits. You had to get out of the first inning with the big pitch. Relax.
And there's a walk, so 2 on with 2 down on back-to-back walks.
Well, Perez does a nice job right there. We talked about the splitter. He laid off a couple. And that's what happens. If you look at the numbers, you know, the numbers going the second time through the order, they go up dramatically, and the third time even worse. What, 254? So that's a nice number. And then it gets to 325, and then it gets to 362. Now you would like to think that those numbers will come down. And what do we tell you about Willie Adames? He got a fastball to hit. Now you're going to try to stay away from that zone.
Doesn't chase the breaking ball. Cobb is 0-3 against the Rays this year. All 3 starts at Camden Yards. Cobb thought he had a strike. You saw him gesture in there. Paul Nart has a track record of being a little inconsistent with his zone.
Yeah, that ball from that angle is low, just a shade. But again, that's a good splitter. So they've done a nice job. Chapman told their hitting instructor, said, hey, try to wait as long as you can.
Hard hit ball, diving stop there by Nunez from his seat. He gets him at first base. What a stretch by Chris Davis. Outstanding job on both ends to save a run. Renato Nunez goes down to get it, and from his seat he flips it across to first, and Davis did the rest with a stretch. Tampa Bay is looking it over to see if they may want to challenge. Yeah, he had plenty of the base. So the Rays will not challenge. Cobb works out of it. Outstanding play by Nunez.
walk anybody, punched out 9. Very efficient, and you love that strike to ball ratio. So he'll leave, and their Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today as Jamie Schultz comes in. Fastball, slider, curveball pitcher. So he's been up and down a couple of times. So if Kevin Cash, you kind of get what you want. 1-1 ball game. Now you're going to match up. You're going to bring a guy in that can pitch multiple innings, which he can. He's going to work his way through the minor league system of the Rays.
Trey Mancini takes ball 1. Nunez and Peterson to follow.
And I got to think the way that Glass now is throwing the ball, you're kind of happy to see him go. He was pretty impressive. Now, it doesn't mean Jamie Schultz can't pitch a little bit, because he can, but he's not doesn't have the power or the arm that Glass now has. 93, 94 is a little more hittable if he gets into these hitter counts, or he hangs the slider here.
Ball 3. Schultz, another rookie. Littered throughout this 25-man roster.
Well, a lot of their bullpen, I mean, is really talking about the Oriole bullpen in transition. The same with them. They have a lot of really good arms. There's a low strike. You know, guys that throw 98. And, you know, Alvarado is one of those guys. I mean, Castillo has a power arm. You know, he's about 97, but just don't have a lot of experience.
Right field and deep. That ball heads back towards the corner, and that ball is gone. It carries out the other way for Mancini. And the Orioles, on a pair of solo homers, now have a 2-1 lead here at the Trop.
Well, Beckham got a 2-0 fastball. This was 3-1. Well, you can look fastball because of the count. May not get it, so what? Take it. But he does get it, and he hits his 16th home run of the season.
And another $500, Jim, for our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Francis Bernstein of Lewisdale.
Short part of the ballpark. Maybe not as short as left field here with a low wall, but, you know, probably hit it, what, about 330, 335, 322 down that right field line here at the Trop.
Just 3rd home run on the road trip.
And then how about Nunez? Oh, what a play he makes. So there it is. I mean, it's right down, well, Dale Mayberry Drive over in Tampa. And he sails it out of here. It's their Broadway. But anyway, I'm talking to Nunez in the hallway, and Trey, of course, you know, gives the Orioles 2-1 lead. But Nunez he looks at Bobby Dickerson, the infield coach. He said, "Hey, we're working early again." So I think they got him programmed, and it paid off.
And he plunks it.
Yeah, missed the protective guard. Little backup breaking ball. Well, when you do what Kevin Cash does, or anytime you bring a reliever in, this just a spinner, got him up in the tricep. Yeah, I mean, he's already made a face right about when he knows it's going to get hit. At least it was in '94, but it still hurts. You always risk when you bring a reliever in, and it's more in vogue to do that. You know, match whatever, that the guy's going to have a bad night. The Orioles are hoping that Jamie Schultz does exactly that.
Ball 1 high.
And getting hit by a pitch opens up a hole into right field. That's a good take. I mean, not a good. Yeah, it is a good take because Jace Peterson knows I can't pull that ball. That's a pitcher's pitch. If he gets something better to hit.
Jamie Schultz is from Castleton on Hudson, New York, in New York State. Town of about 1,500 people, small town by the Hudson River.
Yeah, they have him listed as coming from Albany. Oh, there's a high breaking ball.
Well, maybe that's where the hospital was, where he was born.
It could be.
2-2 on Peterson. Off the end of the bat to left. That's playable for Brandon Lau. And he puts it away for the out. Nunez back to first. Let's get a look at our league leaders, brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, the Orioles and Scott Coolbaugh, Howie Clark, hitting instructors, they've been happy. You know, the Orioles are grinding out. Now, part of that is you did have Scope and Manny for a couple of, well, not Manny, but Scope, who was red hot when he got traded to Milwaukee, but we're still a lot of the young players. You know, whether it's, we saw Austin Wynns hit the 3-run home run. You talked about it in the Open. A couple of hits in New York, got 2 hits on Sunday. Caleb.
Well, since the All-Star break, the Orioles have played 15 games, and they've had 10 or more hits in 10 of those 15 games. And in August, they have 10 or more hits in 4 of the 5 games they played. Caleb rips that ball to straightaway center field, but there's Kiermaier.
Yeah, wrong guy to hit it to. Maybe on the ground. The ball goes through his legs or inside the Parker, but he really does play center field in this age. Entirely different than most center fielders because of the speed factor. And he can be playing as he's moving over now, you know, with the left-handed hitter. I mean, they're going to play him the opposite field, but you hit a ball into right center, and he can cover about as much ground as any center fielder I've ever seen. Now, Paul Blair was 8 Gold Gloves, played shallow, and he could go back as well as anybody, but he plays deep. He's got incredible speed.
If he could only stay healthy.
Well, that's the thing. Thumbs, you know, hip last year. Wasn't he a defensive back, I think? So he plays, you know, he runs into walls like they're going to move, and they don't.
Nunez back easily. Villar 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Tyler Glasnow struck out 9 batters in his 4 innings of work.
Well, you have pretty much, if you watch Schultz, it's only 1 inning. I mean, he got behind Mancini, homered down the right field line. He has not, at this point, gotten a breaking ball over. So as long as you're not with 2 strikes, you can pretty much look heater. The home run that Villar hit the other day was from the other side of the plate.
The 2 balls and a strike on Villar. Mancini's home run has given the Orioles the lead. Now back this way. Was heading right to Ben McDonald, and he didn't even flinch.
He hunts alligators.
Good point. Foul balls aren't going to bother him. They wrestle alligators.
I didn't say wrestle.
No, he has. He's told me. He has wrestled alligators.
And you believe him?
Of course. He's from the Bayou.
Well, no, I think he escaped alligators.
His story sounds better.
I'm going between innings. I'm going right next door and going to ask him. Yeah, wrestled them?
That's what he told me.
I remember when I was a kid, I went down south of Miami, Indian Reservation, and they actually did have Indians that wrestled alligators. It was part of the, whatever the theme park we were at. You only do it one time, unfortunately.
Soft line drive foul. Oh, dropped by a fan. He was so close. And now he's here from his friends. Boo! Boo!
Oh, look at that. Now, who dropped it, though? The youngster with the beard? Oh, come on. Fumble hands. Look at him going. You had your chance. Should have brought the glove.
Those are good seats.
Really good. Well, it's the drop. It's not exactly a tough ticket.
Check swing, and it's low, ball 3. Good at bat for VR.
Yeah, you look at Schultz. I mean, I haven't seen him pitch. First time I think that I've seen him pitch, and I'm going, you know what? He reminds me. He has a little similar wind up to Brad Boxberger. And what did Boxberger do so well? He had that changeup. Boy, if he ever comes up with that,
Skied to center field. Again, wrong guy to hit it to. Kiermaier waits. And he's got it. So the inning ends, but not before Trey Mancini gets into one. He goes out the opposite field, and the home run gives the O's a 2-1 lead. First inning, 2 in scoring position. Our PNC inside the numbers. Well, Alex Cobb, his first 16 starts, 2-11 with an ERA of 6.67. You see the batting average against, the whip, and the strikeout to walk ratio. But Jim, in the last 4, he is back to being Alex Cobb.
Yeah. Well, anytime you miss spring training, I think it's a little easier for a hitter. Pitcher's got to build up your arm strength. Especially 2 years away from Tommy John surgery.
Top of the order, here's Malik Smith. There's a late call by Paul Menard.
Got it right, though. That's a curveball. Yeah, try to catch the curveball out front. In fact, try to catch all the pitches out front. And there's another one.
Smith, 25 years old. He's a native of Florida. Born in their state capital of Tallahassee. 5th round pick of San Diego. Out of Santa Fe Community College here in Florida. He was traded from San Diego to Atlanta when the Padres acquired Justin Upton. And then he was dealt to Seattle in an interesting trade January 11th of last year. The very same day the Mariners flipped him and traded him right here to Tampa. So it's a second season in the Rays organization, back in his home state. Chased the ball there, but he fouled it off.
Well, you got yourself a 1-run lead, and again, he's got 23 steals. He's been caught 8 times, so he can steal a base. So it's pretty imperative that you get him off. A single could be a double. And you got to see that he's red hot, and he had a fastball to left field for a single. And you came and got him to bounce back to you on a good splitter.
Menard's got to hurry and gets him by a step. Malik Smith gets down the line and 1 away. Well, the Care First Fan Challenge is back. You can tweet your signature dish to us, and you could face Adam Jones in a cooking battle. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Now that is always a lot of fun. And Adam, I think, is undefeated. He's got his guru Wayne Kirby to help him out.
Yeah. That's probably why he broke the 10-5 rule to go to the Phillies, because he wanted to be here for that.
Wants to defend his championship.
Uproot his family. Okay, so as Duffy hits, Ben McDonald did Russell Alligator.
He did?
I said, why would you do that? And he goes, well, if you drink enough, you'll probably do anything. So
Is that what he said?
yes. Boy, there's got to be a reason for it because he's a pretty, he's a great guy. And just because you're from Louisiana doesn't mean you're stupid. So come on, Ray. So I said, so how big? He goes, well, never any bigger than 6.5 feet, which seems pretty big to me.
Sure does.
Maybe if you're he's about 6'5", 6'6". Yeah. So maybe.
There's Ben.
And then of course Richie Bancels, one of the longtime Oriole trainers, seemed like he was here forever. Just texted me. He said, well, he actually used to once brought one in and put it in the whirlpool. That would be nice. Hey Jim, why don't you go in and take a little whirlpool.
I guarantee you they wouldn't do that to Richie.
No. Oh no. But anyway, we always send our best to Richie and Carol Bancels. Richie in his first year of retirement, worrying about high humidity and pythium on his lawn out in Baltimore.
What is he worried about?
Pythium. That's a spore disease. Richie, a little bit like me, maybe a little obsessive compulsive about his grass. See, the difference is I now have a condo. I don't have to worry about the grass. There you go.
2-2 swing and a miss. He got him. He finally got Duffy to chase.
And it's, he hit the fastballs the first 2 times up, trying to hold his 2-1 lead. This is a good curveball. It starts on the plate and just keeps biting. First strikeout today on the curveball. Duffy's hoping that maybe he could foul it off. It didn't happen.
Strikeout number 3, 2 down here in the 5th. There's Jake Bauers, the rookie, and he'll take high, I guess, split the plate in half. The Rays this year have gone 5-7 when facing former starters that used to pitch here for Tampa Bay. I mentioned they're a perfect 3-0 against Cobb. They're 1-0 against Jason Hamill. They lost to Matt Moore. They're 1-3 against David Price, and they're 0-2 against James Shields, now with the White Sox.
A little difference in the styles of all those. Moore's really struggling. We saw him in relief. Actually pitched all right for the Rangers. Price pitching well for the Red Sox.
Popped them up.
Shields, the master of about 87 now, changing speeds. There you go, quick inning.
So Peterson puts it away in a 3-up, 3-down inning for Alex Cobb. That's his first of the night. Our Ram Do-Ups brought to you by Ram Trucks. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer, or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Beckham, Jones, and Trumbo when we come back. together. And leaders against the Rays this year, Joey Rickard is not in the lineup, 435, but Tim Beckham at 313, and his home run tied the game. In fact, Joey Rickard, you see that 435 average? He has 3 home runs and 13 RBIs against the Rays this year to lead the Orioles in both categories, but Beckham contributing as well.
Yeah, the Rays ERA was almost 7 runs a game coming in. 697. Of course, Joey had that, what, home run, double, 5 RBI game. Yeah, you could see Schultz, starter coming up out of, High Point, North Carolina University. I mean, John, back in 2011.
Buck Showalter announced before the game that David Hess will pitch on Thursday. Andrew Kashner goes tomorrow. The Rays have not announced a starter for either of those games.
Well, Kashner gave up, what, 10 runs and had 5 outs. Hess gave up, what, 7? So they're both anxious to get back on the mound.
And that means that Dylan Bundy will begin the homestand on Friday night against Boston. They'll also have to make a player move. There's David. He'll pitch here Thursday night. The day-night doubleheader on Saturday, they can call up a 26th man. And Buck was asked, will that be a starter? And he says, very likely. Jimmy Yacobonis pitched tonight for AAA Norfolk, but I noticed he was pulled after an inning and a half. So it could be that they're keeping him fresh just in case they need him for Saturday.
Well, is the
27 pitches for Jimmy.
Is the pitcher Josh Rogers they got in the Britain? Is he on the 40-man roster?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because
I think he might be.
You were talking about he's had a couple of good starts for AAA Norfolk.
And there's a walk to lead off the inning.
Yeah, I love it when they go, well, you know, he doesn't throw that hard. He's just getting people out.
Well, that'll bring up Adam Jones with a man on. That is the first walk allowed by Rays pitching. Schultz last inning did hit a batter. Outside.
Yeah, control for Jamie Schultz as Kyle Snyder's going to come out and talk to him. He was all over the place last inning. Only gave up the solo home run to Mancini, but might see something. Looks like he's just can't stay closed long enough, so his arms really dropping and lines are bad. And
Rogers is not on the 40-man roster.
So, even though they do they have room?
I think they do.
Yeah. But there may be other people they want to put on. I mean,
well, if Cedric Mullins is here before you know it, they'll have to create a spot for him. Want to know on Jones. And a good take, ball 2.
Beckham at first is not a base stealer.
Even though he's fast.
Most he ever with the Rays stole was 5.
That ball's ripped to the corner. It's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Beckham heading to third. He will be held by Bobby Dickerson. And Adam Jones cruising into second base with a double. So the Orioles have second and third and nobody down, looking to add to their lead.
Yeah, they would like to do what they did for Alex Cobb in New York, get him a bunch of runs. I mean, it's just a fastball. Kyle Snyder says, hey, throw a strike, and he does. And it gets walloped. Down and in, just in such a, the ball down in the strike zone. Just think about the path of the bat. You know, all you can do is drop the head. That's why everybody are saying, you know, everybody's trying to have that uppercut swing, and that's why guys can pitch up in the zone now.
107 miles an hour off the bat. Jones is yelling out to Kiermaier, I think, at center field, saying, yeah, I'm smart. I hit it away from you. So the Orioles' hottest hitter comes up with 2 in scoring position.
And the infield in. there's a good pitch. Fly ball, base hit, and even a jam shot. You get jammed here. It's very hard to defend that as long as you get, you get the typical jam shot. Maybe a jam line drive is a base hit. Everybody in so far.
1-1.
And just the other thing, how do you pitch Mark Trumbo? Down and get breaking balls as yet. In the second inning to get a breaking ball over. And once again, until you get to 2 strikes, you are looking fastball. If he hangs the slider, you'll know about it.
Well, you mentioned the ability to get a run in here with a fly ball, but the Orioles have not done a very good job this year with the sac flies. Only 20, which ties them with the White Sox for the fewest in the league.
Yeah, if the infield was back, ground ball to the right side would get a run in and then the runner over, but that's not the case. And there's your pitch to hit. 2-1 count, 95, kind of down. Mark a better high ball hitter than low ball hitter. So now maybe Schultz will finally try to throw a strike with a breaking ball. It's what the analytics would tell you. That's where it always doesn't sync up, does it?
Well, you still got to make your pitch.
That's my point. As you know.
Right past the shortstop, Adames into left field. So Beckham will score. That makes it 3-1. Trumbo hit it so hard he hit it right past him.
Well, there's your high pitch. It almost looked like a breaking ball, but it didn't do much. And then he just tomahawks it. Nope, it's a fastball. 95, and he's on top of it. And then again, you play your infield in because you don't score a lot of runs.
So that's a base hit for Trumbo, 107 miles an hour off the bat. So he extends his hitting streak to 9 straight games. And that leadoff walk comes around to score. Jones ended up at third, so first and third with 1 down for Chris Davis. Davis is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. It is the 38th game this year that he has struck out 2 or more times in a game. 38 times. Slaps it foul the other way, so he's down in the count.
He's got to make some changes. Just has to. Whether he will, we will see.
Infield still up tight.
And there's the first breaking ball right down the middle.
So strikeout number 1 for Schultz and 2 away. Well, fans, mark it down. The Mets will be at Oriole Park next week, August 14th and 15th. And on Wednesday, August 15th, all fans receive an Orioles Maryland State t-shirt. For tickets, Orioles.com. Interleague Baseball at Camden Yards. It's a nice looking t-shirt. So 1 down. Mancini fouls it off.
Well, they're looking for a double play, and Trey's looking for a way to drive in another run or more. Schultz, first batter he faced, 3-1 fastball down the right field line. Inside the pole, put the Orioles ahead 2-1.
Tries to go that way again. Well, when he's going good, Mancini, he spreads the ball around. And his home run went out the opposite way. He now has 34 hits to right field, 49 to left, 39 to center, and check that. That was Adam Jones' line. 28 to left, 27 to center, 34 to right. So he has more hits to right field than any other field.
And he just got a curveball that he missed. See if he gets another pitch to hit here. backdoor, not on purpose, but boy, you can give up on that pitch in a hurry. And they play him exactly where you talk. I mean, you know, Kiermaier 5 steps into right center field. Anything down the left field line, they just don't think he's going to do that. Those were kind of the spray charts on the ground because they're looking for double play. Good take right there. He just followed it to the outside corner. It's almost every hitting instructor, good hitter, they go, you know what, when you get to 2 strikes, you got to trust your swing. Is it short enough? Will I be able to wait, react in, look away? Jim Presley used to always talk about that. Scott Coolbaugh. You know, if you make the perfect pitch up and in, maybe you'll get him out, but anything out over the plate, get it in the air.
Bouncer to Wendell. The flip to Adames, back to first, and a double play will end the inning. So Schultz gets out of it without any further damage on the 4-6-3. RBI single by Trumbo. O's now up 3-1.
Bauer's thrown out. And then look at this play by Nunez. Adames trying to get a run in, but nope. Runners at first and second. Hot shot from the knees, throws him out. A lot of good defense. And then we saw Beckham tie it up with a solo home run, and then right off of Jamie Schultz, he comes in. Trey Mancini down the right field line, 330 feet or so. Make up 2-1s, now 3-1. Geico highlights 15 minutes to save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Beautiful night in St. Petersburg for C.J. Cron, and he'll get ahead 1-0. Cobb working here in the 6th inning, 85th pitch. The Oriole relievers, a good majority of them now for a second consecutive inning, have been up on the mound out there doing some dancing, some calisthenics. A little bit more subdued this inning. Here's a bouncer to third. Nunez plays a tough hop. Takes his time and fires in time, 1 away. Our PNC Minor League Insights brought to you by PNC. There's no better way, no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. Well, Martin Cervenka of Bowie, he was the Eastern League Player of the Month of July. And Jim, look at those numbers.
And he's a catcher. I always like that.
26 years old. He is from Prague in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, and again, a Rule 5 player, so it's nice to see some nice minor league numbers coming up in the Giant organization. AAA phase, Rule 5.
And he's our PNC Minor League Insight for tonight. And he earned it. You get a Player of the Month award in the league, not just by your organization. That's saying something.
Well, we've seen Alex Cobb, a little bit like I pitched with Cooper. We all won 20 games. Pat Dobson won 20 and 9, but he could get you out 3 different ways. And Alex, a little few more curveballs, not too many early on. There's the splitter right down the middle that doesn't maybe called low. Yeah, Noward, as you mentioned, you said inconsistent. I just think he's maybe more of a inconsistent hitters umpire.
Skied the left. Mancini's over. 2 down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, those are just kind of routine plays because Alex has got good movement. I don't think it's exactly where he wanted to throw it, but the movement gets it off the good part of the bat. And you want to have a quick out here because you would love, with the Oriole bullpen transitioning, Brock gone, Britton gone, O'Day injured, Gibbons pitched well the last 2 games, but a little bit of a struggle. Try to get 7 innings in.
Skied shallow left. Beckham out. Mancini in, makes a diving catch. What a play by Mancini. He got there just in time. So back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings on the fabulous catch by Mancini to end the 6th. Royal Farms world famous chicken is #1 in Food and Wine magazine for best fast food fried chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. And by Visit Annapolis. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. St. Petersburg, Florida on this Tuesday night as we head to the 7th, and Trey Mancini getting some love from Alex Cobb for that sliding catch to end the inning.
Well, that and the home run. Hear him. Not a way to go. Boom, boom.
Adam Kolarek.
Yeah, he comes in. Now, not a hard thrower. Second stint of the season. Tops out, maybe 4-seamer, but also a sinker. 92, 89. There's 90 on the outside corner. Got a little bit of a slider to go with it and a changeup.
Lower third of the Orioles lineup here in the 7th. Nunez looking for a base hit to extend his hitting streak to 7 straight. Glasnow started. He was overpowering except for one pitch to Tim Beckham. A long home run to deep left center field. Jamie Schultz worked 2 innings. He allowed 2 runs, so he is the pitcher of record on the losing side at the moment. And meantime, it's been all Alex Cobb for the Orioles. The magic number for the Orioles this year has been 5 runs. 26 and 12 when they score at least 5.
Which kind of tells you, because the magic number, as you've mentioned many times, used to be 4.
Right. This year they're 8 and 66 when they score 4 runs or less.
Well, defense not up to par, and then you look at the team ERA, came in at 4.97, which is 13, tied with the White Sox, and then only almost 4/10 of a run higher. Kansas City, who's tied the same record as the Orioles, 34 and 76.
Gets a hanger, rips it into left field.
Well, Nunez could swing the bat. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And they made it pretty clear. Bobby Dickerson said, "I'll work with you. You want to work with me?" Got a chance to be a much better defender, and I think he understands that. And then you're right about it. This speeds the bat up so he pulls it. You throw him out over the plate with hard stuff, right center, doubles, power hitter, home run guy coming up through the minor leagues.
Well, that is the one thing about this coaching staff, Jim. If you're a player and you want to get better, you want to improve, they are willing to work with you.
And in fairness to other coaching staff, that's what you do. Yesterday's the off day. Go to the gym. Of course, Brian Ebel, the Oriole trainer, and Mark and Pat, they're all out early treating guys, and then they came out there. And Bobby Dickerson's out there, Scott Coolbaugh, and I'm saying, they deserved it because they work so hard. An off day where you don't have to go to the ballpark, you can actually enjoy it. But it's been a tough year for everybody. Oriole fans, Oriole coaches. I'm sure the front office is not happy the way things have gone. So it's nice to have a time to kind of regroup. But they do their work to help you get better. And if you're a smart player, you realize that.
So you got into the pool yesterday?
Little dive.
I sat on a rocking chair for about an hour just because I could. Had a nice cup of coffee. Just sat there rocking.
You were out there on the Gary Thorne cigar porch.
Minus the cigar.
Yeah, I understand it, but that's. Yeah, rocking chairs play well here in St. Peter.
Oh, yeah. It was enjoyable, believe me.
But they have them up at Cooperstown at the other side.
Well, you didn't invite me.
Yeah, you got a vacation coming up, don't you?
Yep, in about 2 weeks. And 2-2 on Jace, who was 0 for 2 on the night. Nunez on at first with a leadoff single.
Yeah, he'd just like to advance the runners if he can. Runner.
Out at second, back to first, and a double play. Wow, nicely turned. And a collision at second base with Adames and Nunez. No hard feelings there, just a real good baseball slide. Peterson can run, and they still turned it.
Yeah, Jake Bowers is thinking right here, no hesitation. Perfect throw. And the only way that, because Nunez is running hard, the quicker you get it to him, the easier it is to clear the runner. And then Bowers back to make a nice stretch.
So the base runner erased. Here's Caleb. Had one of the 2 hits against Glass now. Got a piece of Perez.
Yep. You try to get the arm, the hand behind your leg, ball always finds you.
Well, after that series Caleb had in Texas, he certainly can appreciate what just happened there. See, he instantly was concerned and trying to talk to Perez. By Sunday, when he finally got a day off, I felt happy for him because he caught the first 3 games, and I think he was wearing a bullseye. Fouled off near the bullpen. There's Austin. He hit the 3-run home run the other day. He's got a 4-game hitting streak going. And his playing time has not been very regular. Wayne Kirby there. Oh, excuse me, there's Pat, the trainer. And a swing and a miss. Real good changeup. So base hit, and none left here in the seventh. Seventh inning stretch at the Trop. O's have a 3-1 lead. Watch Caleb Joseph after he struck out.
Well, he got a base hit his first time, lined out to center his second time, so he was looking for 2 hits. It was really, a really good changeup from Kolarek. And now, of course, your job is, number one, he didn't hurt your leg, hurt the bat. Well, here's the pitch, perfect. Change up, down and away, and he'll get the glove. Now we got a 3-1 lead, and you know he's refocused.
Brandon Lau, the rookie, has a strikeout and a walk, playing in his second big league game.
Yeah, trying to stay away from the fastball. That would be the assumption. And really good numbers coming up. AA, AAA this year. 22 home runs, 31 doubles. That's a ton of doubles. Almost a 300 hitter at 297 and only in 100 games.
That's the second. VR waits on it, gets his man. One down here in the Tampa Bay 7th. The Orioles are proud to join Johns Hopkins, the University of Maryland, and other corporate leaders to support Baltimore City's Youth Works program, which seeks to provide as many as 12,000 Baltimore City youth with summer employment. Now, to donate, visit BaltimoreCityFoundation.org and choose Mayor's Office of Employment Development Youth Works. And to learn more, visit youthworks.oedworks.com.
Their scoreboard here at the Trop, I mean,
Evan Phillips getting loose.
Yeah, that was the exit velocity on that ground ball was 65 miles, 65.6 miles per hour. And then the vertical angle was a -28. Now, you tell me what that means.
No idea. you know, it showed me he made a good pitch and he got a weak ground ball.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's what it meant.
Now, I'll go for the the exit velocity. That's even better. Take that launch angle as long as you catch it. High roof. Oh, yes. Well, you can't take, it's kind of like the old the Metrodome. You get young players coming in here, you cannot go, outfielders, you cannot, look at the other outfielders, see where they are, because you won't find the ball back again. So never, ever take your eye off it, and then be able to back pedal. They weren't really happy. I mean, it was kind of funny, and you know, when he fell over backwards the other day in Texas, you just don't see major league players do that. So again, just trying to get him to really focus on his defense and hope that the offense will be as good as it has been in the minor leagues.
It's a good-looking breaking ball there. So 9 in a row retired by Alex Cobb.
And this will be pitch 100, so very efficient.
He goes breaking ball fastball and gets ahead 0-2.
Yeah, young hitter. Your kind of count, strike the ball. Nothing that ends up in the strike zone.
Cobb fields his position well, does it there, and gets his man. So 3 consecutive 3-up, 3-down innings, and Alex Cobb has retired 10 consecutive batters as he works here through the 7th. Bottom of the 6th, Kiermaier up. Gets that slicing fly ball to left field, and Mancini gets in on it, makes the diving catch. And that was the final out of the inning. And with Kiermaier running, if that gets by him, that might have been a triple. So great play defensively. Alex Cobb, of course, liked it. So we head to the 8th in a 3-1 game. Valeric stays on. VR will bat right-handed for the first time tonight. Top of the lineup up for the O's. Only switch hitter on the club, but he's playing in his 5th game. This ball's trouble to right. And sends Malik Smith back. And off the wall. And Smith runs it down. VR will settle with a double.
Well, that's because he didn't run. I think he thought it was going to be out. If he runs, it's a triple. You know, you never ever assume. You know, he hit it well, and I think he thinks it's going out. So right about now, he's starting to run. The ball almost did go out. So he comes out of the box, and then, you know, he's watching it, thinking it's going to carry out, and instead of being in 3rd, gets himself a double.
Tim Beckham's had a good night, including his 5th home run. And let's get a look at our forward drive of the game. We go back to the 4th inning.
Well, finally, against Glasnow, they get a hitter's count 2-2. You can see Kiermaier kind of do a stutter step. That ball was blasted, tied up the game at 1-1 at the time.
Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Beckham have even a better night if the infield was in and VR was at 3rd base.
Change up for a strike.
And that's the Caleb Joseph. That's a good one. And it looks like he sells it pretty well. You can't really distinguish the arm speed between the fastball and the changeup, which is what sells it so well. And, you don't slow the arm down. You can't read it. And a sinker. He's got two. He got a fastball and a sinker. Sinker's about maybe 89, 90, and then the four-seamer has a little bit more zip to it, a couple of miles per hour. He's thinking, where can I get him to hit a ball to the left side and not advance the runner?
And he does advance the runner. Outstanding job there by Beckham. Wendell gets him at first. Into third base goes VR.
Yeah, he gave him a pitch he could actually, if he committed himself, and Tim does a nice job of that. He stayed back. That was that changeup you talked about. And we see him doing in batting practice. Man on second, less than nobody out. Hit a ball to the right side. Perfect execution right there. Now they will play the infield in.
Well, that is an unselfish team at bat,
and it should be a sacrifice.
As the Orioles look for some insurance here in the 8th inning. Chop to third, runner coming home. To the plate comes Duffy, and safe is the call at the plate. The tag was high, and VR got in. Perez looks stunned.
Well, the rules say you really can't block the plate, so you have to still give him an angle, and we'll take a look right here. I mean, this is pretty routine, and see, so he's right where you need to be. And I don't know if it's just the tag's late or he's not up the line. Well, no, he's in front of the base, and
yeah, I think he might be out.
Yeah, I'm not sure they got that call right.
So it all depends on what New York sees, and did they have enough?
Well, it was hard to tell where that heel, looked like it was on the edge of the plate, whether it got the corner or not. Boy, in the old days, this is so routine. He gets the ball, so he just would have slid out. And I don't know if you can really tell from that side. From that angle, and I'm sure they have another angle right here. I don't believe that would be enough to call or reverse it.
Yeah, it looked like the heel of the cleat may have hit the plate as the tag hit his body.
This is the one I think they'll look at. So did he tag him before the heel gets to the plate? And the answer is yes. Heel's still up in the air. They're going to reverse this, in my estimation. That's the one definitive look that you can get to call reverse the call.
And he's out. They did reverse it. So that'll be a fielder's choice. VR out at the plate. And that's a big out for Tampa Bay to cut off that run. So Adam Jones on at first on the fielder's choice. Here's Trumbo. Mark with an RBI single in the 6th inning to extend his hitting streak to 9 straight games. New York overturned that call. It took a run off the board for the Orioles, but they did get the call right.
A little extra right there.
Jones on at first with 2 down, and he got him. Real good breaking ball. Perez will play it to first, and that'll do it. So the Orioles get a leadoff double but cannot score. Night is done for Alex Cobb. 7 outstanding innings for the O's.
early on, trying to win back-to-back games for the first time. And right here, I mean, some plus pitches right there. Gets out of the, boy, got out of the first inning when could have been 3-0. Kiermaier down on strikes. Real good splitter. There they are again. You know, the ability as the game went on to make great pitches and then use his curveball, get you out. The numbers usually progress. There's the hook we were talking about, and Duffy a tough out after a couple of singles, so he has a chance to win. 101 pitches, good ball to strike ratio, and again, only the 1 run. That was in the first inning. 3 consecutive singles. Evan Phillips comes on, and this will be the second time we've seen him. He pitched in a 11-3 deficit game down in Texas. Couple of innings, only 3 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So he pitched real well, and
no one got on against him.
A little different here. You got a lead. And again, this getting the Oriole bullpen transition, and hopefully he will be a big part of it. Came from Atlanta in that trade. Much different circumstances here, pitching with the lead.
And against a Rays team that is a very good contact hitting team.
And it's also at the top of their lineup. They're hitting for the 4th time, but not against Evan Phillips. He's got to throw a strike here. I'd like to have to throw a strike here.
And it comes in, and it's 3-0 just like that. That run that was taken off the board is big because it's only now a 2-run advantage, so the tying run is on deck.
We didn't see, we saw a couple of good changeups, but not much of a breaking ball. There's your strike. 94, 95. It played a little bit higher than that because of late movement. But once you get behind with a 2-run lead, it's pretty much throw it for the middle of the plate, hope it doesn't go there, and hope your stuff's good enough to get it out.
Fastball by him, 3-2.
Yeah, well, that's the movement, location. Throws a little bit harder than Alex Cobb. It doesn't have the splitter and the curveball to go with.
Orioles continue to go with an 8-man bullpen and a 3-man bench. But low, ball 4. So Malik Smith gets on. That brings the tying run to the plate. Fans, MLB.TV is now available at a lower price. For $59.99, you could watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Now, blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. And here's Matt Duffy.
Yeah, and I'm sure the scouting report that the Rays have on Evan Phillips is that he's primarily a fastball pitcher, and it's kind of like what Jamie Schultz did for the Rays until he throws a breaking ball over. And that's all you're going to look for. And Duffy already 2 for 3. A couple of hits on fastballs early in the game. 23 steals at first base.
Yeah. 4th in the league in stolen bases is Malik Smith.
But it's a good time to really hold the ball and then hope that he leans, even though there's no way in the world that he should be thinking about running here. And then try to pick him off. If the longer you hold it, maybe you'll get him leaning. Hold. Quick throw over.
Right to Davis. He turns and throws the ball into left field. So everybody is safe.
Well, they needed a break, and he just got it. You know, he's usually so accurate with his throwing. Not the case here. You know, he got it. He got to clear. Now, you know, Smith runs well, so take a look. See, he gets to clear the runner, and then he just pulls it. You know, maybe a step to his left if he comes in one, but he doesn't do that. And then he doesn't have as much of a angle. But that's a play that certainly you like to think you're going to get a double play, and you don't get any out. So now all of a sudden, go ahead, run Bowers at the plate. Yeah, Phillips makes a great pitch, and that's very unlucky.
And at a minimum, they would have retire the lead runner.
Well, that's what Chris is trying to do. He just, and again, we don't see that very often. Of course, he hadn't been out there, you know, didn't play Saturday, didn't play Sunday, didn't play yesterday.
.95, but well off the plate. So Phillips hasn't worked since Thursday. Smith, the lead runner, Duffy, the trail runner. Nothing doing at either bullpen.
And Bowers with a little bit of pop. You know he's sitting on a fastball.
It's in there for a strike.
And I think he thought this ball was low. Might have been.
Nice job by Caleb. Presented it well.
Paul Mallard was right in front of his eyes. Reach back across the plate. And that one runs off the plate. So. Boy, the dreaded extra out or two, and that's what happened on the error by Chris Davis. The only good news is the runner stopped at first and second. Of course, it's only good news that Evan Phillips can find a strike zone here. And he can't.
So the bases are loaded, that error looming larger as this inning continues. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So Roger McDowell out for a chat. Paul Fry getting loose.
And so what they're thinking about, okay, you know, second run is over at third. Tyne runs at second. I think for a lot of veteran guys, you never ever want to give up the tying run, but the run that beats you is at first base because that's the potential winning run. And I'm not saying you want to give up the tie runs, but boy, the last thing you want to do is have them have a 3 or 4 run inning here. So Cron, he leads this team in home runs, but the other thing is, can you strike him out? 13 strikeouts on the year. So strike him out, pop him up. You'd even take a double play ball. And there's the breaking ball. And see, this is where you get a young guy, inexperience-wise. Scouting report says, hey, you know, throw him sliders and whatever, but your strength is your fastball. And that's all he should be looking for here. Because if their advanced scout said, if they told him anything other than he's a fastball pitcher, they weren't telling him the truth. And there it is. I don't know if you'll get as good a pitch to hit as that.
So if the Orioles can get a double play, they'll allow that run to score from third. They would certainly trade 1 run for 2 outs.
Well, that's what you're looking for. I mean, you got a 2-run lead and looking for 6 outs and maintain that lead. Yep.
And it gets away from Caleb, and here comes a run. So it's a 1-run game, and the other runners move up. Very costly wild pitch.
Well, once again, this is a scouting report pitch. Not known, he didn't even throw a breaking ball down in Texas, but again, it was 11-3 deficit. And there's the slider that you just kind of hang on too long and bounce. And Smith is the second run, and tying run now at third with nobody out, and winning run at second, or go ahead run at this point. Just off the corner, apparently.
So Fry heating up. 4 consecutive left-handed batters follow Cron. Tampa Bay has a run on 2 walks, a throwing error, and a wild pitch. Slice foul back out of play. Davis runs out of room. And a strikeout be a good idea here.
It would be a great idea. Unfortunately, you may ask him to do something that's not his strength. I ran into Rick Williams, who scouts for Atlanta, son of the late Dick Williams, Hall of Fame manager. And he knows all about Evan Phillips. You know, he's got a good fastball.
Swing there, fouled it off.
And you know, still working on the slider and the changeup, and that's why he was available. Take a look right here, and he's got that late life.
Ooh.
But until at this level he proves, and I'm not saying he has to do it right away, because again he's getting an opportunity, until he proves he can throw something else over. And I'm not suggesting it's here. That's what they're going to look for. Just the fastball. It's hard to pitch that way.
It's inside ball 4, and he's walked 3 this inning.
Yeah, he almost struck him out on a backup slider. And now you're going to, if you're Buck, you're thinking matchup because of the error and because of the walks and because of the wild pitches. Paul Fry looks like he's going to come in.
So Phillips leaves. Fry comes in with the bases loaded, none down.
Gave up a solo home run on Saturday. You can see the numbers, and you know, 3 runs in now, a run in each of the last 3 appearances. They're going to actually looks like they're going to pinch hit with Carlos Gomez for Wendell, but who actually hits lefties. So Paul Fry's a reverse split guy. He's done a great job. Inherited runners. Only 1 has scored. So bases loaded. You know, Wendell actually lefties. He hits 282 off lefties. Of course, Gomez has been swinging the bat well, but Fry, you know, fastball slider guy, has a changeup, but hasn't thrown it yet. Because it's his 3rd pitch, and certainly not going to use it here. A sharp slider, back foot slider has been one of his pitches. Maybe a couple of pitches at 93. Most of the time, pitches around 91 to 92. Hides the ball well.
So the Orioles, again, they're willing to allow that tying run to score if they can get a double play. Of course, if it's into Nunez or Davis on the corners, they could come home. Back on the outside corner, quickly 0-2.
Gomez only, what, hitting 280, 218 against lefties. Wendell hits about 60-some points higher. When you talk about a double play, it's probably easier to double up Gomez than it is Wendell.
There's a double play ball. Tying run will score. 4-6-3, 2 men down, but the tying run scores, so there's that extra out.
Well, there's the second double play ball at the inning, but this time they turn it. And of course, as you mentioned, Gomez He makes contact, doesn't strike out, doesn't get an RBI, but that contact will tie the game.
So that's a tough break for Alex Cobb. 7 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, and a no decision.
Well, it's the new wave, boy. You know, I mean, he retired the last 9 guys, 3 up, 3 down, 101 pitches. Boy, the old days probably never. He would not have left. I mean, old days for him too.
Right.
You know, nowadays, if Evan Phillips comes in, he walks Alex Smith, gets a double play ball, and Chris Davis throws it away, and that, of course, sets up the whole inning.
Sergio Romo now getting loose to come on in the 9th. We'll try to keep this game tied. As the go-ahead runs at 3rd with 2 down.
And Kiermaier, a 170 hitter against lefties.
Can't defend a walk, and Phillips walked 3. Where did he chase a pitch there?
Oh, he's got a good slider. Yeah, what we saw, he kept trying to, you know, he pitched Saturday night and pitched well, and then came back the back game, and did not have the arm strength on Sunday. But again, the rest of the bullpen pitched so well, it didn't make any difference. The Orioles scored 9 runs.
The 1-2 on Kiermaier. Check swing and appeal. He didn't go.
I thought that pitch might have caught the corner. And certainly the bat went far enough to call it. In the eye of the beholder against third base umpire.
And he got him. What a job by Paul Fry. Comes on with the bases loaded and nobody out. Does allow 1 inherited runner to score, but he gets the Orioles out of a jam. We head to the 9th in a 3-3 game. Kushner will be on the mound for the O's in Game 2 of the series. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Ford. And then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. So Kolarek stays on.
Chris Davis would like to atone for that throwing error. Set up the whole inning after the walk.
This is probably the last batter for Kolarek. Right-handers follow Mancini and Nunez. You see Brandon Lau moves in from left field to second base. Malik Smith from right field to left field, and Carlos Gomez, who pitched in for Wendell, is in right field. Some backspin on it, and just in time to get Davis at first. That was some throw there by Kolarek. One down. Davis 0 for 4. And here's Kevin Cash, so we will get the right-hander Romo to come on to face Trey Mancini. So Kolarek leaves. He did a good job. 2 1/3 scoreless. Tie game in the 9th.
Hero during the World Series, so he comes in. He's been pitching really well. We saw him early in the year. Actually, you know, the bullpen day would come in and start ball games. Did it back-to-back days out in Anaheim against the Angels. Only 4 runs since the beginning of June, so really he's pitched well. And of course, what is he known for? Strikes and his slider. There it is.
Backing up on it is Duffy, plays the hop. Low throw scooped out by Bowers. Nicely done, 2 outs.
Yeah, he can play the outfield too, but I mean, he picked it, and we saw him start the double play. And turning that on Jace Peterson, who can really run. So here's your slider. Pretty routine play to, you know, Duffy actually had a ball go off his finger, and he bounces that ball. That easily could have gone by him. Could have been a double. So in infield practice, I think the index finger had to leave the field. But he's played and hit the ball well.
There's a strike to Renato Nunez. He doesn't agree. Singled his last at bat to extend his hitting streak to 7 in a row.
Yeah, I think this ball gets the corner and easily.
Well, when the hitters see the catcher move the glove, they get suspicious.
Yeah, came over right around the trade deadline. In fact, Dan Jennings, Steve Cechek was all right before or right around the trading deadline last year. Started the year with the Dodgers and was not good. 6-point ERA. I can still remember his quote because we were here and they said the analytics, they still think he can get the job done, and they weren't wrong in that capacity. A guy that at one point, you go back to what, 2013, 14, 38 saves, 23.
And he had a great run with the Giants.
Yeah, did he ever? In the 2012 World Series, 3 saves. So you got the slider to a righty going away, and then the two-seamer running in.
She doesn't throw all that often. And he got him. A good slider, so the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down here in the ninth. Well, we head to the bottom of the ninth. Those need to get this to extras. Lower third of the Tampa lineup when we come back. With nothing to hide, that's transparency. Outside Tropicana Field, 3-3 game. The error, huge in that 8th inning. 2 unearned runs. So the Rays get 2 runs without a hit. And never did hit the ball out of the infield. Paul Fry came on and saved the day. He did allow the tying run to score, but left the go-ahead run stranded at third.
Which kind of goes what we talked about in our opening. I mean, that's the perfect example. As a setup guy, you have to come in with the bases loaded. You closed. Usually it's a clean inning. So the young left-handed hitter, Kevin Cash, gives him a chance against the lefties. He's a good slider.
Well, he only has 2 men left on the bench. Ji-Man Choi, a left-handed batter, and Jesus Sucre, the other catcher. Lau, his 2nd major league game. Still looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 6. Has drawn a walk here tonight. He's drawn 2 walks in his first 2 games. From the University of Maryland.
Yeah, we saw Odor hit a home run on Saturday night off of Paul Fry. Of course, Odor hit home runs in the first 3 games down there and was their July Player of the Month. But again, this guy has pop. Watching him hit, he's not a particularly big guy. It looks like he's got a pretty good foundation. There is Miguel, pitched on Sunday.
He's going for it there.
A pretty good count to look for your pitch, which was a fastball, and tried to air it out. He kept it out of the middle of the plate. Kind of paramount to keeping a hitter from driving the ball.
2-2. Might have been ball 3, but he's protecting.
Yeah, I'm not sure a young hitter, 2nd major league game, you're going to take that questionable slider in a 2-2 count on the corner. I think ideally most of the good lefties I ever talked to said early in the count you want to hit the slider that starts as a ball inside and ends up at the plate. Here you better scuff it. And there, that's the one he just gets fooled.
So it looked like it broke down right on the inside corner.
Yeah, how important it is to have a lefty with all these lefties that are in Kevin Cash's lineup. So Lau goes down on strikes. Perez is another left-handed hitter right behind him.
Michael Perez, 8 batter. Perez questioning that call.
Well, it looks like the strike zone is getting a little bigger.
Well, that's a good sequence, Jim. Breaking ball down and away and a fastball, and he gets by him. Nothing in 2 on Perez with 1 out, nobody on. Anxious times on the bench. And as we continue the remaining games, you're going to see these young relievers getting an opportunity to show what they can do, because you certainly need to go into the offseason knowing what you have with these new players. And let's go to Carroll out there. Mike Wright, of course, they know about him. They certainly know about Michael Givens, but Evan Phillips brought in for the first time. It's only his second appearance, but as you pointed out, this is the first time he was in a close game. And now the error was the big play in the inning, but he still walked 3 batters.
Well, that's certainly exacerbated the inning. You know, you don't want to walk a leadoff batter with a 3-1 lead, but he did. Then he makes a good pitch, gets a double play ball. Chris Davis, you know, it's only his 5th error of the year. And the other thing, we saw Paul Fry, you know, over the weekend. He pitched back-to-back games. First time we've seen him do that, and then you could see maybe not quite the same arm speed. So 20 pitches Saturday, 15 on Sunday, or actually 15 on Saturday, 15 on Sunday. Lost a little bit of arm speed.
Deep right field, down the line, and that ball is foul.
Wow.
Foul.
Well, Michael Perez certainly knows that, because he's running right down the line, and I thought that ball was going to stay fair.
It looked like it had a chance to hit the foul pole.
Yeah, and take a look. Yep, the other side. And boy, what a great angle there. That's the definitive angle.
Las Diaz was straddling the line and immediately called it foul. So Fry has another life here to try to get Michael Perez, the catcher.
Yeah, just kind of a lingering fastball in the inside half. And there's the good pitch.
Struck him out.
Yeah, so, well, that's baseball. And here comes Buck, you know, foul by a foot or 2, and then Fry makes a better pitch, gets him out. Boy, did he do a nice job. Easily could have had a really big inning when he came in with the bases loaded, nobody out.
So an inning and 2/3 scoreless. Castro comes on in the 9th.
Chance to pitch in Texas twice. The Thursday game, 17-8 loss, not so good. 9-6 win was great. Ended up throwing, about 29 pitches. Inning in the third, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So that's the only number. The strikeouts are good. Walks a little bit high for the innings pitch. Again, fastball, slider, changeup. Had a really good changeup on Sunday. Throws it in the count.
They'll face Willie Adames, 2 outs and nobody on. And a strike on the corner.
Yeah, we saw 97, 87-mile-per-hour changeups. We saw a pretty good breaking ball.
Said he checked. 2-1. Fastball not close. Adames facing Castro for the first time.
Last 7 appearances, every one walk or more, mostly 1.
That ball's gone and we are going home. Adames hits it out deep to left field, and the Rays walk it off against the Orioles. A very tough loss for the Birds on a night Alex Cobb was outstanding. His 5th of the year, and no doubt about it.
Well, this team, they were 21-5 at home until the weekend, where they lost 2-1, 3-2, and 8-7 all. And again, that's inside middle. He's looking for it because of the count, 3-1. And that's why you saw sliders earlier in the count, but that got him behind. And that's no doubt about it right off the bat. That ball is just crushed to left field here at the Trop.
So the Rays win the opener. And a tough night for the O's. The throwing error by Davis, key in the rally in the 8th. And Adames gets ahead in the count, looks for one he can handle, and he hits it out. Well, we invite you to join us tomorrow night. More O's action, Game 2 of the 3-game series. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Ford, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Jim Palmer and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Tropicana Field. Once again, our final score, Tampa Bay 4 and the Orioles 3. Tonight's telecast, a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick, O's Extra, following a short break on MASN.